Lilo and Stitch is probably one of the best live action adaptations / remakes that Disney has ever done. Yeah, I said it, so start sharpening your pitchforks. And if one of your questions is if it's a one-to-one copy of the original animated movie, well, of course it's not. And if that bothers you, I would also question what movie or TV show is a direct one-to-one copy of the original. Very few, if not none. And before I go any further, I do want to say this. I actually grew up with Lilo and Stitch. I remember being 6 years old, gonna go see it in the theater. I saw Lilo and Stitch 2, and the animated series on Disney Channel was my jam when I was growing up. So I do think I might have a qualified opinion. But with all that being said, I still stand by my statement because this movie was freaking fantastic. I'm not gonna make a blanket statement as to why the remakes and live action adaptations are so polarizing with Disney. But to me, it's because they lack two important things. One is because they lack that magical quality that only animation could give, and they stray too far into the real world with their stories. And two, they try to add more to the plot, which does nothing for the story except to add to its runtime. And I feel that both of those points, this movie excels at. The CGI characters actually feel like their counterparts and not a cheap knockoff. I mean, yes, were Jumba and Pleakley in their human form for most of the movie? Yeah, but that's because you can't really put an alien with one eye and a wig walking around on a beach in Hawaii. I mean, somebody would say something or even scream. But the whole time, they still had their essence. Actually, the guy who played Pleakley, Billy Magnuson, he was one of the highlights of the entire film. But what truly made this movie stand out to me was the extra story added onto the movie, because it was surrounding Lilo's sister Nani, and I was truly invested. Yes, we all know the original struggles that she faced in the original animated movie, but her character is so much more fleshed out in this film. She doesn't feel like a secondary character. She actually feels like the third lead. All that with Lilo being perfectly cast, Stitch being not watered down, but to his full authentic self, being the Deadpool of the Disney live action remakes. I don't know, man, this movie is hard to top for me. I mean, I know there's Jungle Book, because Jungle Book was fantastic, but for me, as a Lilo and Stitch fan, this is up there. And finally, this is the last thing I want to address. If you're one of those ones that keep complaining, oh, why does everything keep getting remade? Why does everything always have to have a remix? Well, congratulations, you're officially old. Because think back to when we were younger, when we would watch a movie or when we was in the car listening to a song and our parents would turn to us and say, oh, you know that this was a remake, right? You know, it was way better back in our day, completely ruining the entire experience for us. Well, just look at us now. We became the same things we sought to destroy. But as always, that's my opinion. I would love to see you guys' opinion down in the comment section below. Were you as mad as the internet for... Oh, okay. One last thing. A lot of people are mad that Captain Gintu wasn't in this film. But I have a question. Serious question. Do you guys know that he wasn't in 85% of the movie? Look, in the animated movie, he wasn't in the vast majority of the movie. The main antagonist was Jumba and Plexi. But people are mad that Gintu wasn't in it. Why? So he can have less than 8 minutes of screen time like he did in the original? Okay. I'm off my soapbox. I'm calm. And I'll see you soon. Bye.